So now moving on to most improved player of the year, right? My pick for most improved player of the year is Luka Doncic. When you think of, it's hard to say if they're gonna give Luka Doncic the award. I think the front runner right now is Bam Adebayo, most likely, maybe Jason Tatum, but I don't think they're going to give Luka Doncic the most improved player of the year award because it's his second year. They don't usually give it to second year players because the argument is it's your second year, right? You should improve. You should improve, right? Now that you have one season under your belt, you're used to the conditioning, you're used to the training and stuff. You should be better, right? Well, the thing is, Luka Doncic went from, great rookie of the year campaign to an MVP caliber player. Now he went from, averaging 21 points, 8 rebounds, and 6 assists, 43% field goal percentage, and 33 from 3, right? He went from that to a top 5 MVP, campaign player this season. He's averaging 29, 9, and 9, right? That's almost a triple-double. The only players that put those kind of numbers are Russell Westbrook, Oscar Robertson, James Harden, and, the great one, Michael Jordan, right? So you have 3 players that put that kind of all-around stats in Westbrook, Oscar Robertson, who are similar players. James Harden, I put the comparison already. James Harden and Luka Doncic are more similar than people give them credit for, right? I've seen stats where, James Harden has the most step backs in the NBA. The second person who has the most step backs in the NBA is Luka Doncic. And then, you got Michael Jordan. He's putting up 29, 9 and 9 on 46% shooting and 32% from 3. So he's kind of like a volume shooter from 3. But he was able to bump up his efficiency up 3%. So, it's not too bad. I mean this guy right here is the next one up. He will win MVP awards in the future. There's no doubt about it because of his play style and because the offense is catered to him in Dallas where he can, show off his talents, right? Which is what he's doing right now. He's almost averaging a triple-double in his sophomore year. Now, there's a lot of context to these numbers. You gotta take into effect. The Dallas Mavericks are pretty poor rebounders. That's why Luka Doncic is the best rebounder, it seems on the Mavs. There's nobody on the Mavs averaging double-digit rebounds. Kristaps Porzingis is a poor rebounder for as tall as he is. He's pretty bad at rebounding. The reason why is probably because of his base and his frame. He can't box out people as much. So, there's that. And then, Maxi Kleber, I think he's averaging 6 rebounds. Stuff like that. Luka Doncic is basically the best rebounder on the Mavericks team. And they do want him to get the ball as quick as possible so they can set up the offense. So there's kind of a leeway in his numbers because they're trying to do that Russell Westbrook kind of play where give him the rebound and let's just run it down the field, or not down the field but down the court, and we'll run our sets from there. He'll find you basically. So that's that. There's no shame in is that really saying that he's stat padding? Not really in a way, but at the same time, they're just letting him, get the rebound, right? But he's still a good rebounder. Now, people are not taking into account, most improved player of the year for him, that, his jump was astronomical. Think about it. Last year in his rookie campaign, right? first couple of months, he was doing great, right? And then Trae Young, he was doing pretty bad in his rookie of the year campaign, first couple of months. When Trae Young started picking it up and was going on like, offensive, shooting sprees and stuff, Luka Doncic was like hitting the rookie wall. And, he wasn't doing as well as he was previously doing. But he was still putting okay numbers, right? The reason for that, of him having a dip, was because the Mavericks were still experimenting on that, Dennis Smith Jr., kind of combo of Luka, so they can see like where Dennis Smith Jr. can penetrate, kick it out to Luka, and they can like play kind of like combo guards together. It didn't work out because Luka Doncic actually penetrates the defense way more better than Dennis Smith Jr. Like he just does it way more better. He gets more fouls. He finishes like a higher percentage than Dennis Smith Jr. Like the list goes on. He's just straight up better than Dennis Smith Jr.'s role on the team. So they got rid of him. Then you got DeAndre Jordan, who was stealing rebounds and stuff, and he was like, there was a point where Luka Doncic was going to get a triple-double, and DeAndre Jordan straight up just stole the rebound. And I'm like, what the? That's just ridiculous.
10.7 rebounds and a lot of noteworthy defensive plays by Mitchell Robinson.
But the reason DeAndre Jordan was doing that kind of stuff was because he was stat padding. Like DeAndre Jordan is washed up. Like he was just stat padding to show that, check out my stats. Like, this is why I deserve, X amount of money for my next contract. And if people who've seen like how DeAndre Jordan played, like he just didn't give he didn't really give effort, when it comes to the Mavs. That's why they got rid of him. So basically they got rid of multiple starters from Luka Doncic's team. And that's why he had like a dip in his play. But once he started, getting chemistry again with his players, that's when he started picking it up again because there's that argument last season where Trae Young was catching up to him and people were like, Trae Young should win what's it called, rookie of the year because X and X, and he was putting up these kind of numbers, and Luka Doncic wasn't doing too hot, right? Well, there's no context in that because Luka Doncic has it, like there was no trades with Trae Young. Like he had to establish chemistry with his players like throughout the season. Like Luka Doncic, they traded everyone off the team basically, and he was almost about to make the playoffs in the West, whereas Trae Young has no business making the playoffs whatsoever. So then he jumps to this sophomore season, right? Like leading the Mavericks to the number one offense in NBA history. I mean, just like hearing that is just ridiculous. Like number one offense in NBA history in terms of offensive efficiency. Like, dude, this guy is having similar usage rates on the level of James Harden and Giannis Antetokounmpo, right? So the top three NBA usages right now is Giannis Antetokounmpo, James Harden, and Luka Doncic, right? So Giannis is the number one usage player. He's like putting up his usage percentage is 36.2. James Harden is 35.8 and Doncic is 35.8. Now if you put James Harden, you think James Harden's usage rate, like you get on me to think, right? James Harden has to do everything for the Rockets. He wants to do everything. He wants to dribble, shoot or pass, drive it in. Okay, he does everything. Giannis does everything for the Bucks. Everything. Luka Doncic does everything. When you think of high usage numbers for players, it's usually the players that do everything. They hold the ball 90% of the time.
The good looks. I want us to share the ball a bit and not one guy dribbling it 20 times and hoist something up like Luka does with the Mavs.
They do everything for their team, and they have these gaudy stats and stuff. That's why you need to take into effect that, when we're making arguments for certain players, you need to take into effect these kind of things. Like, give proper context. Like, why do these players producing certain numbers. Oh, it's because of super high usage rate and whatnot. It's ridiculous. But not only is he, he's maintained that high usage rate. He's actually super efficient as well. You can't really argue. You can't really say give much, stuff like, yeah, he's holding the ball 90% of the time, but at the same time, while he is holding the ball 90% of the time, he is leading the league, in efficiency, basically. So, I mean, will he win Most Improved Player of the Year? I don't think so, but he is my Most Improved Player of the Year for this season.